Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this webinar for the DREAM Innovation Open Call. So my name is Marielle Campadella. I am from Pôle SCS, the project coordinator of the DREAM project, and I'm very glad on behalf of the consortium to welcome you to this webinar, during which we will give you all the elements that you need to know to apply to this open call. So it's quite a successful event. We have more than 100 people registered today for this webinar. So I'm just waiting a few seconds that the figures are increasing to have all the people coming on board. We will start in a few seconds. Thank you. So before we enter more deeply into the subject, I just would like to remind you some housekeeping rules for having a proper and quiet webinar, let's say. So for your information, this session is going to be recorded. So microphones and cameras automatically switch off for all participants except for the speakers. And the presenters are kindly asked to switch off their mic and their camera if they're not speaking, so until they are asked to speak. Questions can be asked in writing into the dedicated menu on GoToWebinar that you can see on your screen. So please ask your question when you wish, and they will be replied verbally after the main presentation. These slides and the video recordings will be made available and will be sent by email to all registered participants, and will be also available into the DREAM website. And at the end of the webinar, automatically when GoToWebinar is going to close, you are going to receive a short survey on the screen. So it would be great if you could take some time to fill it in. It will help us in our services and also in the follow-up of our activities. So thank you very much for doing so. So here is the agenda for today. So the goal of this webinar is really to present you the main elements of the DREAM Open Call. So to give you an idea of the global framework of the project, and what the conditions of the call are in terms of eligibility, of type of product that we aim at funding via DREAM, the consortium composition, and so on, to explain you what the evaluation process is and what kind of financial support can be given. So after this presentation, we will reply to the questions that you could ask in writing into the question module of GoToWebinar. And the second half of this webinar will be dedicated to a pitch session of potential applicants who have contacted us, either tech providers or end users, who would be interested in applying to DREAM Call and who are looking for partners. So the goal is really that you are able to listen to these companies, and in case you have some interest on what they are providing, that you can able to contact them directly. So please be careful to the contact name that will be given, and you will be able to find them also in the presentation that will be sent later on by email. So I'm going to start with some general slides on the DREAM project. So what is DREAM? What is behind that? And why this project was born? It's important to set the scene in order to understand how and why the project was built. So DREAM is a European project, namely funded by the European Commission, that is part of the so-called Joint Cluster Initiatives for Europe's Recovery, the so-called Eurocluster program. So this program is actually based on the updated EU industrial strategy that was adopted in May 21, so just after the pandemic crisis, with the main goal to strengthen the resistance of the European single market to disruption, and to analyze and address strategic dependencies in terms of technological and industrial dependencies in order to enhance the European strategical autonomy by putting a lot of emphasis on the green and the digital transitions of company. So to do so, 6 main objectives have been addressed into this program in terms of networking, innovation, adoption of new processes and technologies, training, and go international. So to do so, the European Commission has launched in 2022 a large program called Euroclusters, during which 30 Euroclusters projects have been launched in order to implement this EU strategy. So Euroclusters are cross-sectorial, interdisciplinary, and trans-European initiatives made by clusters, by associations, and other economical actors, such as research organizations, companies, and so on. So the value of this full program is more than 40 million euros as part of the European Single Market Program. And it is composed of more than 170 partners covering 14 industrial ecosystems that you can see on the screens. And in total, 30 projects like DREAM have been launched. 30, yes, 20 of them are related to specific industrial ecosystems, and 10 of them are cross-sectorials. And DREAM is specifically into this strand that we call the digital strand. So the focus of DREAM is really into digital technologies and IT technologies. And the project started on the 1st of September 2022 and will last till the end of August 2024. If you're interested in other industrial fields, I do recommend you to give a look to this website here, clustercollaboration.eu/Euroclusters, where you can have information on the other Eurocluster projects, which are quite similar to DREAM, but on other subjects. So behind the DREAM, we're actually a team of 5 partners, 5 entities coming from 4 European countries, from France, from Belgium, from Italy, and from Romania. So we are 2 clusters specialized in digital technologies. So PolSCF, that represent the coordinator, and the Cluj IT cluster in Romania. We are also 2 clusters specialized in advanced manufacturing. So Polmecatech in Belgium, and MESAP in Italy, and 1 consulting firm specialized in innovation and performance, GAC Group, based in France. So these 4 entities are your main contact points related to the DREAM project and the DREAM Open Call. So the overall goal of DREAM is quite simple, I would say. The goal is to reinforce the European digital ecosystem, so digital companies, applied to manufacturing. So among the 5 objectives for networking, innovation, adoption, training, and Go International that are common to all Euroclusters projects, within DREAM, we have decided to focus more specifically on 2 objectives, innovation and adoption. So innovation, so the goal of our activities is to stimulate innovation among digital companies and manufacturing companies in order to increase the European capacity and to increase its main autonomy into the worldwide market. And adoption, our goal here is to reinforce the transformation and the transformation of company with a more greener and a more digital economy by deploying IT solutions into the manufacturing sector. So this is the main 2 goals that we have within DREAM. And in terms of scope, so on one hand, we have the technological scope, and on the other hand, the industrial scope. In terms of technological scope, we are focusing on any digital technologies that can contribute to the sustainability challenges. So namely, artificial intelligence, big data, IoT with sensors, cloud and connectivity, smart robotics, automation, virtual reality, and simulation, and also cybersecurity. And on the industrial side, we are focusing to the manufacturing environment. So industries which are focusing into the manufacturing of goods. And the goal here is to improve their processes, to improve the quality of the manufacturing decision making, but above all, to deliver solutions that are able to make this industry greener, more competitive, and more resilient. So the aspect of having non-environmental transformation of the industries is really at the core of DREAM. So the DREAM project actually is based on the principle of cascade funding. So if you're not very familiar with this principle, I'm going to explain you. The cascade funding is actually simple funding mechanism that the European Commission has brought forward since the Horizon 2020 program in order to support small organizations and especially SMEs in innovation development. So this funding mechanism aims at simplifying the administrative processes, creating a light application scheme. So a dedicated budget is allocated by the European Commission to larger European funded projects like DREAM. And then this project, like DREAM, can issue in their turn open calls for further funding, which are usually for SMEs. So the principle of cascade is really from the Commission to DREAM, and then from DREAM to the SMEs. It means that the open call is completely managed by the main project, so DREAM in our case. And instead here, third parties receiving cascade funding have a contract directly with the consortium of the main EU project, so with DREAM, of which then they become a third party. So it means that DREAM consortium, of course, is liable towards the European Commission for these third parties who are going to fund. And it makes also the process quicker, easier for funding, and more agile and more relevant for SMEs. So of course, the funding level, each lump sum, is smaller than what you could see in larger research and innovation program at the EC level, but it's much more easier to implement and to handle. This is the reason why it's quite interesting for SMEs. So concerning the DREAM open call, so here are our main figures. To summarize quickly, in total, we have a bit more than 1 million euros that can be allocated to SMEs. So our goal is to fund up to 35 projects at a level of 30,000 euros per project, and funding is only for SMEs. In each project, we expect to have a team of at least 2 partners. I'm going to explain that a little bit later on. The deadline is on the 25th of May, so it means that you have 7 weeks in front of you to prepare your application. And then the financial support period is up to 9 months, so namely from the beginning of September till the end of May 2024. What is important to keep in mind is that this call will be the unique one for DREAM. So there are no second chance. It will be the unique call that we are going to run and to implement. So don't miss it if it's particularly relevant for your entity. So here are the type of projects that we expect to fund. We are looking for projects that are focusing either on the development or the deployment of innovative digital solutions into manufacturing environments, manufacturing industries, and that can contribute to the green transition of manufacturing processes. It means that any projects that are going to apply to DREAM have to demonstrate how IT solutions implemented into industries can reduce consumption of resources in terms of, for instance, less water, less energy use, less raw materials, less supplies, better management of waste, and so on. And so to demonstrate what the environmental impact of the industries is thanks to the use of IT technologies. It's not enough, of course. You have to demonstrate also how, thanks to digital technologies, your solutions can increase the efficiency of the production means. So it's important to have a green environmental impact, but also to have a better efficient processes, and also how this market can represent an interesting growing opportunities for IT companies to develop themselves into manufacturing sectors. So these 3 key impacts are really at the center point of the DREAM open call. I remind you here what the technologies are and what the industrial sectors are as part of DREAM. Regarding IT technology, so the list is clear and it is limited to that. So you will find AI, big data and analytics, IoT, cloud computing, autonomous robotics, immersive technologies, simulation, IT system integration, and cybersecurity. So this list is limited to that one and no more, no less than that. Of course, you can pick only one technologies among those, and you're not supposed to be aligned with all technologies. Regarding industrial sectors, we are focusing on manufacturing industries without any limitations. So here we have put a list of manufacturing domains that we could foresee, but this is not limitative as long as it is addressing manufacturing of goods and products. Into your applications, you will have to specify which manufacturing sectors you are specifically addressing into your proposition. Regarding the type of actions, so two types of activities could be envisaged. So one hand, we have the prototype actions. So here the goal is to target companies that have already carried out a kind of feasibility studies and that are having the need to develop a prototype and to spend effort in miniaturization, in testing and experimentations, for instance, with final TRL at 6 at the end of the project. This is the first type of action. And the second type of action is about demonstration. And here the targets are companies that have already developed and tested a prototype, and they have a need to demonstrate the efficiency of the prototype at a larger scale. So the goal here will be to implement this prototype into a real environment, so the real environment of a manufacturing company. And here the ending TRL should be at least at level 7 or 8. TRL meaning technology readiness levels. So how to compose and how to build your consortium to apply to the DREAM open call. So we will address a consortium made of at least 2 partners. So it will be mandatory to have among these 2 partners at least 1 SME from the digital sectors and 1 end user from manufacturing industry sectors. From the end user, it could be an SME or a non-SME. A large company, for instance, could be fully relevant. However, the funding is only for SME. Keep that in mind. So in case the end user is a large entity, it cannot receive funding. The funding will be only from the SME. It's important to underline that the 2 partners must be independent from each other. By independent, we mean without any personal link or capital links. The eligible countries are the countries from the single market program of the European Commission. So namely the EU 27 member states, plus those 4 countries which are associated to the SMP program of the Commission, so namely Iceland, Liechtenstein, Norway, and Ukraine. Keep in mind that this list is a bit different from what you may have seen in Horizon 2020 program, for instance, or in Horizon Europe. So countries like Turkey, Switzerland, UK, for instance, are not eligible because of this rule of the single market program of the Commission. We have also decided that these 2 partners must be also from 2 different NUTS 1 regions. So NUTS 1 are the larger geographical administrative separations of regions in a country. So we would need 2 companies from 2 different regions. And at least one of the partner must be from one of the country of the DREAM consortium partners that I've mentioned beforehand. So either from Belgium, from France, from Italy, or from Romania. And the second partner could be from any countries of the single market program. Then concerning the financial support, so we will be in a position to distribute up to 30,000 euros per project. So to be shared among the 2 companies in case they are SMEs, or only for the digital SMEs in case there is only 1 SME, and only SMEs can be funded. The funding is under the form of a lump sum. So a lump sum is actually a fixed amount of money, a grant, that is given to the beneficiaries and which can be used by the beneficiaries for several purposes related to the achievements of the objectives. So into the applications, it is necessary to provide an explanation on how the lump sum will be used in terms of personal cost, for instance, travel cost, equipment, subcontracting, but detailed reporting of the spending, cost statements, and timesheets are not going to be requested at the end of your projects, unless in case of audits. So it makes the process much lighter. So since the granting of the lump sum does not foresee the delivery of a cost statements, the use of the budget will be controlled by considering the technical advancement by the DREAM consortium partners. The subcontracting is allowed, but without exceeding 30% of each SME budget. And the final technical evaluation will be assessed and will assess the coherence of the money spent with the active results. So the payment calendar will have 2 steps. So at the project start, so 40% of the 30,000 euros will be paid, so before September 1st, and 60% at the project closure, so after approval of the final reporting by the DREAM consortium. We expect to have starting dates of the project so on the 1st of September, and the maximum duration of 9 months, so up to the end of May 2024. We cannot go much after end of May because our funding from the EC is going to close at the end of August 2024, and we need some time to close the project properly and to make some reporting. So the latest ending is really on the 31st of May 2024 regarding the funded projects. In terms of eligibility conditions, regarding the open call, how to apply. So keep in mind that the deadline is on the 25th of May at 5 o'clock CET. You have here the link on this website, and I think my colleague is going to indicate the same link into the chat here, where you can find all the call documentation. So the guide for applicants, where everything will be described, and the FAQ, as well as the main, let's say, empty forms that you can use to start to work on it. There is only one single application platform. So if you wish to apply, you have to register yourself into this platform, which is the only way where you can submit your application. I do invite you to use this platform and to register into the platform as soon as possible, without waiting, even if you are not very yet sure if you will apply or not. Being registered is not a commitment, so you can decide afterwards not to apply. And having an idea of the people who have an interest into our call give us also a better overview of the likely application flow, and it helps us to prepare properly the evaluation phase. So this is here how the application platform looks like, I would say. So it's an online form with questions that you have to fill in. You can register into the platform, save your draft applications. You can come back on it as many times as you wish. When you submit your application before the deadline, you can modify it as many times as you need until the deadline. So do not wait the last minute to submit it. You will see here several fields corresponding to the main criteria of analysis concerning the consortium composition, excellence, impact, implementation, description of the consortium, and the declaration. And you have some dedicated box with some limitations of characters where you can enter your text according to each questions which are asked. In addition, 2 documents will be asked to be uploaded for the SME. So the results from the SME self-assessment by clicking on the link here, and the results from the financial viability check as well by clicking on the link here. Everything is well described into the guide for applicant. I remind you here the eligibility condition. So it's really necessary that all these rules are met. So applicants must be legal entities from the eligible countries I have mentioned beforehand. The consortium must be composed of at least 2 legal entities independent from 2 different NUTS 1 regions. And at least one of these entities must be a for-profit SME. At least 1 legal entity must be based in Belgium, in France, in Italy, or in Romania. All applications must be submitted, of course, before the deadline 25th of May, and they must be complete and in English. We would accept only 1 application per applicant. In case we discover more than 1 application for 1 entity, only the last proposal which has been submitted will be evaluated, and the other one will be considered as ineligible. And finally, SMEs must be in good financial health, so not in liquidation, nor in difficulties. This is the reason why we are asking you this documentation with the financial viability check. Regarding the evaluation process, so each application will be evaluated by at least 2 external experts, which will be independent from the DREAM consortium. There will be 3 criteria, so excellence, impact, and implementation. And each expert will assign a score from 0 to 5 for each of these criteria. And the threshold will be 3 out of 5 on each criteria, plus 10 out of 15 regarding the sum of the 3 criteria. In case the 2 applicants are from 2 different countries, 1 extra bonus point will be allocated concerning this transnational cooperation. I cite this opportunity to also inform you, in case you are not going to apply to the open call, that we will also launch a process to search for external experts. So as I said, all applications will be evaluated by external experts, independent from DREAM, so at least 2 experts per application. And so we will look for experts to evaluate those proposals. It will be a one-off paid mission. Of course, we will ask to sign confidentiality non-disclosure agreement to identify, of course, and to confirm that there are no conflict of interest with DREAM and with the applicants, and to be sure of the impartiality of the experts. Experts will have to be fluent in English, and we are looking for complementary profiles in terms of geographical origins, in terms of gender, in terms of industrial backgrounds, technical backgrounds, academic institutions, and also in terms of expertise, both IT technologies that I mentioned beforehand, and also regarding the industries. The experts will be trained at the end of May concerning the evaluation processes, and you have here the calendar of the evaluation process. So we're asking the evaluators to be available during the first 3 weeks of June to carry out the evaluation. So in case you are interested to do so, don't hesitate to contact us via this email address. So once the evaluation is done, we will rank the proposals. In case of ties, the following criteria will be used by order in order to separate the proposal and to make the ranking. So first, impact scores, then implementation score, then excellence score. And in case we have still after this ranking and criteria classification another tie, priority will be given to projects with partners that include at least 1 partner from the so-called EU 13 countries, from which you can see the list here. After that, we will make the ranking of the projects, and we will be able to fund up to 35 projects. So here is the calendar. So we are now during at this phase regarding the call opening. So the evaluation will run from the end of May till the 21st of June. We expect the results to be communicated to the applicants by the end of June, early July, and then the selected laureates will be informed in early July, and we are going to start into the grant preparation phase. We are going to ask to the laureates a number of administrative documents, especially to check the registration of the company, the SME status, the financial good health. So a good reactivity on the laureates will be asked in order to be able to have the grant signed during June and July and August, and to have the start of the project on the 1st of September. And then the project will run, as I said, till maximum May 2024. So just a short recap, you have here the link and the contacts that are currently existing. So the link towards the official call announcement on the EC webpage, the link to the DREAM open call with the guide for applicants to be downloaded and the FAQ, the link towards the DREAM application website, the general contact email address in case you wish to contact us. And I have also indicated here the link with the towards the 5 DREAM partners in case you need any specific support into your specific national languages or more local support. So with Paul LCS, myself, Mark Pattinson at GAC, Sophie Schmitz at Paul Mecatech, Alessia Mendouni at MESAP, and Andrea Apostu to Close IT Cluster. And don't hesitate also to follow us into Twitter and LinkedIn, where you can follow also the latest information and actuality on the DREAM project. So I think I've spoken quite a lot and maybe too much. So now it will be the turn to do the questions. So I'm going to see if any questions have been asked. Well, I can't see anything if I'm not wrong. Expect some thank you from some people And thank you for these kind words. If you have any other questions to be asked, it can be done right now till the end of the meeting. I can take also some other questions during the last phase of the webinar. So now I'm going to give the microphone, I would say, to my colleague Sophie Schmitz from Paul Mecatech, who is going to manage the pitching session from potential applicants. Sophie?
Yes, hello. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you again, Marielle. Thank you for letting me the floor. So this is now the pitch session, and you will hear about 8 pitches during this afternoon. And you will also receive all the presentation, as Marielle said a little bit earlier. So you will be able to contact your potential partners, because all the pitchers are looking for or solutions or some end users to offer the solution in an industrial environment. I will share now the presentation and call each pitcher one after the other. Just one moment. Yes. Okay, Marielle, can you, has you put me as a presenter?
Yes, I have to remodify that. I thought it was permanent, yes, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Sorry.
Okay, sorry.
You should be able to share your screen now.
Yes, it's okay now.
Thank you.
Thank you. So you can see, I think, the presentation. I will,
if you could,
pass to the more present.
Yes, perfect. Thank you very much. It looks well.
Okay, so as I said, we will hear 8 people speaking about their solution or problematic. So now we are beginning with the first speaker. I call Cyprian. It's your turn.
Hi, everybody. I'm Capriale Ciprian, and I'm a co-founder at 20 Robots Technologies. And I'm coming forward to you to propose a consultancy and digital solution for employee performance management and career development in coaching. We started the company in 2020 with a strong core team. My most relevant experiences is leading and managing teams, the delivery departments, where I gained experience in coaching, training, and manage the performance of my colleagues. Eva Marina, who has more than 15 years experience in human resources and organizational processes and consulting. And Vlad Vedinash with a focus on technical infrastructure architecture and cloud delivery of large-scale software products. We joined together to revolutionize the way evaluations and performance management is done, and help companies to improve and tailor their processes and coach the actors involved in this process. We can go to the next slide. Yeah, through our research and experience, we saw these pain points and problems in many organizations, and we had the chance to address them and untap a lot of potential. There are problems with inefficient communication, with unclear roles and responsibilities, with goals alignment, lack of feedback, lack of engagement, and unfair performance evaluations. Employee evaluation is, let's say, it's like a tending garden. In the spring, we sow seeds of expectations, and in the autumn, we reap the fruits of our labors and assess the results. So just like a garden carefully nurtures the plants through the season, so the managers should provide guidance and support for the employee to ensure a bountiful harvest during the evaluation period. In most companies, this evaluation, yes. In most companies, these evaluations where employees are not guided towards success leads to demotivation and frustrations, affecting performance in the company. So, can you go back to the previous slide?
Yeah, sorry.
Yes. The solution that we are offering is to shift the employee evaluations toward the performance coaching process, which is a more healthy approach where employees are coached and they are guided throughout their career, so they have a good results and be motivated. So when the evaluation comes, that moment is a moment of celebration instead of demotivation and frustration. And our consultancy solutions and the digital solution offers functionalities like functional positions, where you can have responsibilities from multiple roles. Everything is gathered in a review cycle. So we have periods of evaluation. We have the journey of employee with all the events that have happened during his employment time, discussions, which are actually the coaching meetings, goal assignments, feedback, direct feedback, and satisfaction feedback. We can go to the next one. So what we are looking for a partner in manufacturing industry, so we can see the challenges there and adapt our products with the functionalities that are required for that specific domain. We have a demo. We are running the demo for 1.5 years with 70 mentees and career coaches, where we gather feedback and build on functionalities. We are looking for partners that value innovation and growth. Our solution is ideal for businesses that wants to refine and enhance their overall performance, especially in the manufacturing area. There are a lot of things to learn, a lot of roles, a lot of career opportunities, and there is a dynamic learning environment where things change and a lot of things needs to be learned and adapt. Another peek, we can go to the next slide. We have here a screenshot of our product. It is the digital solution that we offer. We also offer a consultancy solution with everything that is needed from from creating the roles and responsibilities, coaching actors involved in the process, implementing the entire platform and the entire process. And as we can see, we have functionalities to oversee the entire process. This is what we call a people manager role, where he can see information about the projects, about the process, about each person's. We have the mentee sections, which is for a career coach to handle and his mentees and their evaluations. His own reviews, because in the end, each employee has a performance evaluation and coaching. We have feedback, which we have multiple types of feedback: direct feedback, 360-degree feedback, satisfaction feedback. We have the growth area, where an employee can see his objectives and his path and what he needs to do to grow and develop himself, and his career, where he can see the progress and everything of what that happened in his careers. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Cyprien. Now I'll let the floor to Grigore. Are you with us?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you? Yes. My name is Grigore Stamatescu. I represent the company Astri Automation from Bucharest, Romania. We are a manufacturing company to be in line with the Dream project. So we focus on industrial automation and technical training equipment with over 30 years of experience. During this time, we have approached projects in nearly all industry verticals, like oil and gas, food, automotive, utilities, R&D, and so on. And we have our own product range and manufacturing facilities here in Bucharest. and by keeping an international portfolio of customers on many continents and many partners. So for this project, if you can change the slide, please. We have this flexible assembly line system. So this is a pilot plant model of an industrial manufacturing process. So what you see here, there are 5 stations, and the product becomes manufactured by going through all the processes. In the middle, you see also a robot station, which does the more complex production operations. This type of line is used in training, research, and development of various smart manufacturing solutions, both in universities and in large companies. And you see here the detailed stages, like the pallet station, base piece station, robot, and assembly. The focus is the robot cell. You can leave it, please.
Yeah,
if you can go to the next slide.
Yes, we didn't hear your last sentence.
Okay. Sorry. I'm in a spotty area. So the focus is on this robot cell, the middle station, which interfaces to the other lines through industrial communication and uses beyond the robot PLCs and frequency converters to synchronize the operations. Currently, here we use a vision-based solution in order to collect the parts for the product using a commercial camera, and this is managed at the upper levels of the control platform. What we actually would like to explore in this dream application with a suitable partner, we as end users would provide this line, and we would like to develop a custom solution for the embedded vision and AI part. So we are interested in building a solution with the open source software and hardware components, commercial off-the-shelf components, that can recognize the parts, classify them, indicate defects, and so on. And based on that, we can do the control, the vision-based control. This will integrate new state-of-the-art AI models for the image processing tasks. And we are also interested to find a fast solution or a real-time solution. So the inference will take place locally on an edge device, so that we can increase the performance of the line. So to have a very short turnaround. With that in mind, we would like to partner with a software development or AI ML company or R&D facility according to the core requirements. And of course, we'll provide all technical support and automation development, so adaptation of control routines, robot routines, drive routines for deployment and evaluation of the solution to have a demonstrate ready. Thank you very much for this opportunity to present.
Thank you, Grigory. And now, Quentin, you're the next.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, so I have an issue with my camera, sorry for that. So I'm Quentin Raffray from Cormatic. We are an Australian company based in Brisbane, created 5 years ago, and we create our European branch in Liège, Belgium, just in January this year. So it's a new adventure for us. What we think is that innovation can be sold like innovation as a service. So we are a services company, and we de-risk research and development, investment, providing access to advanced innovation in robotics, computer vision, and machine learning to businesses looking to automate and digitalize their operation without losing their IP. You can switch on the next slide, Sophie. Yeah, thank you. We see that day to day, most of the time, when you want to innovate, you have 2 solutions. The first one is to go with an internal development, and the second one is to call the OEM to buy new functionalities. But in those 2 cases, client takes all the risk. And we think that we can take the risk for the end user and just develop a good solution. On the next slide, you have two examples of what we have done last year. It's two projects, one in agriculture, the second one in biopharmaceutical. The first project in agriculture is based on vision, on computer vision. We create heat map with an harvester of sweet potatoes to improve, to create data for the customer, and with this data, I can improve his production by 15%. And the second project was in biopharmaceutical. We automate a factory line from the start. The factory needed more than 26% to run 24/7, and we automate it without buying new machine, just by integrated all the equipment they had, and the factory line run now only with 4 people. So this is two example of what we can do. Our skills are most on computer vision and automatization, and what we are looking for right now, it's we are looking for an end user that have business needed and technical constraint. We are not good on business needed most of the time, but we are good in technique. With our methodical approach, we can fully understand your needs, and we are focused on the ROI. Every project we manage have to reach the ROI. For us, it's very important, and we can be committed about that. Thank you.
Thank you, Quentin. Anelia, are you with us? And it's your turn now. Hello, I'm not sure Anelia is join us actually. So maybe we can go through further if she's got some problems.
I can't see her name in the list of participants indeed.
Yes. Okay. So now Pierre
Yes.
from
Thank you.
GetYourWay.
Yeah, so hello everybody. I'm Pierre Jensen, the co-founder of GetYourWay, a Belgium-based startup. Today I want to share 3 good news with you. But first I will respond to one question. You can go to the next slide. Why aren't smart glasses present in all your businesses? So today we see that there are a lot of new technologies emerging, high-tech products, but they have difficulty to integrate all your companies. And we identified 3 main barriers. So you can go to the next slide. So it's the price. It's a few $1,000s per product. The comfort, they are not designed in order to be worn all day, and they are heavy. And also the user interest. We have products that are very complex to use, and the end user don't see directly the real added value that this kind of technology can afford to him. So the first good news, you can go, is that by GetYourWay, we have developed LightTech smart glasses, so the Ardent smart glasses, that will show any kind of information right in front of your eyes. And they are controlled with an external device that can communicate in Bluetooth. So you must see our device as a head-up display that will be controlled by any external device. It can be a smartphone, a computer, but also a keypad. So that's the next slide. So this is a keypad that you wear on your arm, and it gives you the opportunity to encode some information while you are working. So you can go to the next. So the second good news is that with this solution, you will improve the comfort, security, and efficacy of your companies by providing a freehand tool that will digitalize your procedures, reduce errors, reduce working time, and so on. How does it work today? You can go to the next slide. We use a solution that is as simple as using data from an Excel file or a structured file. So we collect the data, we generate some screens like you see at the second step, as you want, as you wishes, and then we make the logic to show the right information at the right time. So as you can see on the right side, so here it's a case in the picking by vision, so in logistics. You can go to the next slide. We are present in a lot of use cases as industrial procedures, logistics, quality controls, laboratories, and so today that's where I come with my third good news is that you are here, and we are looking for people. So you can go to the next slide. We are looking for companies that want to create innovative solution with a real added value, because it's a product that is very simple to use, but also very simple to implement in existing or new systems. And so we are looking for two types of collaboration. The first type is the end users directly, where we can implement our solution, but also partners that will use our technology in order to implement their solution to find the end users. So feel free to contact me, and thank you very much.
Thank you. So now Lorenzo from Alservice.
So Alservice is an Italian company from the northwest. We are in the northwest of Italy, close to Switzerland, close to France. We are an ICT company, so we are a technology provider and work with many manufacturer industries among our customers, mainly in the textile sector. And what we want to propose for this open call is a project that has the goal of enhancing the security of software application in the manufacturing sector. Next slide, please. So what is the problem that we are proposing to face and to solve? The fact is that many developers, many programmers are increasingly using a generative intelligence system like ChatGPT or even Bing or Copilot for writing software. And this leads to much higher productivity. But sometimes some studies have already shown that the software written by this artificial intelligence is in many cases less secure when compared to software written directly by programmers. So what the problem is how to get this higher productivity, to keep this higher productivity, but having together safety in software. Next, please. And the project, which we called VIGA, is about verifying the software generated by the generative intelligence applications. So we want to create a prototype, the first type of project that is allowed in this open call. And the prototype has the goal to verify the security of the software generated by intelligence, let the intelligence produce more secure software, and we want to do all this targeting a specific use case in manufacturing. Next, please. Next slide, please. So what we would like to find among the people who is listening is one private entity from one industrial sector. We work quite a lot with the textile sector, but also other sector, of course, will have a software that may have security problems. So textile, energy are possible sectors, but also other are applicable. This must be located in one country except Italy. So, for example, France, Belgium, or Romania participating in the project, but also other are okay. And this company should have their own software or having property of the source codes, because the project is about security of modification to this source code. And possibly this company should have an internal IT structure, or at least one person that normally cooperates with external ICT providers. So if there is some partner with this characteristic that would like to work with us on this project, in this Trin call, please contact me. Thank you.
Thank you. We will come back to Anelia because she's online now. Sorry for the small bug. Anelia, can you hear us? Sorry. Yes,
I
it
hear
is
you,
your presentation.
But I don't see you. So probably
Okay,
there is
no,
just a second. I don't know. I lost you. Do you hear me?
yes, we can hear you. Do you see the presentation?
Yes.
Okay.
So I have a small company in Bulgaria on the Black Sea, producing paper bags, importing stone paper, and we are doing a new product development, especially from the stone paper. Please go on. Yes, you see my line is very integrated. So it's a printing head, what you see, then confectionery of the bags, then at the end cuttings of the bags, and an operator collecting them. On the right side, you see what we are measuring only on our machine. So it's the number of bags made and the speed, how it is done, as well as how many bags we get in a package. We don't have any monitoring of the line itself, how many times it stops, why it stops. So we are not able to measure the overall equipment efficiency, except if we introduce manually collection of the data. What is interfering with the need of operators working in line? Please go on the next slide. So we are looking for a solution to monitor this on and off states of the machine, maybe on the power line, and to integrate data collection, data analysis, so the operator can in fact say why the machine has stopped by choosing from a menu, and it will allow us to analyze the data and to define the equipment efficiency. It will help also to understand why we can have some issues, because I have noticed that our yield loss has increased last months and over the years. So it means that we do not perform machine preventive maintenance. So this is our goal. For example, these are the parameters to be monitored on the machine, and these are the business parameters. So I am looking for a partnership to build this intelligent solution. Probably it's very easy, I don't know, to do the database definition, the parameter extraction, and to propose a hardware solution for measuring the stops. Possible sensor integration for intermediate root cause or immediate root cause correlation is a nice to have, but I think for 30,000 it's nice to think, more than nice to have. Thank you, and sorry for that.
No,
yes,
it's okay.
Sorry, I don't know what happened that you didn't.
It's okay. The essential is said. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
So I will go through GTECT and Mathieu.
Yes, so Mathieu Franqui speaking from GTECT Torsen. GTECT Group is a company that is manufacturing some steering gear, bearing and machine tool. And here in Belgium, we are manufacturing differential. So we are a small plant regarding the group, only 158 people in Belgium. On the Belgium side, we are able to design our own differential to manufacture all the components inside the differential and to sell them mainly at EOM. The company was established in 1989, and we are making a turnover around 22 million euro. Next slide, please. So currently, to continue to live in our automotive industry, we need to reach plus 6.7% of productivity for next fiscal year. And we are facing some difficulty in our organization. Currently, all our operators are making control inside the line and outside the line. Outside the line, the controls are made in the tempered room where CNC machines are gathering, Zeiss, Clackenberg, and all operators, you can see on the screen on the right, this is the layout of the machining area. All operators have to run and walk all around the Gemba in order to make their control. For this fiscal year, in fact, we would like to implement AMR robots in order to improve PPLH, so parts per people produce and by hour. And we make the analysis of the working load of the operator. Just to have in mind, currently in our organization today, and based on the quality of part we have to deliver, if we take one department is named side gear, it's represented one component inside the differential. If we have 3 operators that are working inside this department for one shift, one on these 3 operators is making only control, due to the fact that the control is quite far from the control area, is quite far from the production line. So we need to robotize the part transferings and to digitalize all the data and eradicate manual encoding inside the company. Next slide, please. So currently, we already study this possibility with 3 AMR makers. No good solution were already found, and we are still looking for one support. We need at least to improve our productivity by 6.7%, as I said it, and this we have to. And we will face in the future more changeover, so more reference on our production line, and so we need a system that is flexible. And this is a quite complex topic. And for our strategy development, we would like to move from a complete differential to precision gear that require 100% control checks. So it means that we will leave, I would say like this, high volume for low volume with high frequency of control. So that's all for me. If you are interested for this project, do not hesitate to contact me.
Thank you, Mathieu. And now, robotique industrielle, I call Olivier.
Yes. So hello everybody, and thanks for letting us pitch our ideas today. So I'm Olivier Zewart, and I represent Robotique Industrielle, or industrial robotics, and we are providing industrial solution and are coming from Belgium. So let's start our presentation with a simple question. If you can go to the next slide, please. Would you drive this car? And I will let you some time to think about it, to see what maybe is the reason why you would want to drive it or not. And in my personal answer would be no, not without its dashboard. Indeed, you can guess that driving a car without knowing its speed, fuel consumption, or motor state is not a good idea. And this car is like your company. You can drive it like an artist with your feeling, your emotions, but you'll never know if it works or not, or you'll never be able to measure the impact of your changes. And what we want is to let you make your own choices based on true data and see how it will impact those data in your company. So that's why we are developing a monitoring system, a dashboard for your company. and it will be divided into two parts. You can go to the next slide, please. The first one is the measure unit, which will be placed on your production line to collect data. And the second one is the control unit or the server, which will gather the coming data from the different measure units you'll be having on your line. And finally, based on that data, we're able to plot charts that will represent your production line in real time. And so you can go to the next slide, please. Our goal will be to find where to put your efforts to maximize your productivity. To accomplish that, we have 3 steps. So the first one is collect data with you. Our system will use sensor and human interaction to gather information about your process. Then 2, analyze that data with your team, see how it's doing your production, where are the issues, which issues, and how much does it affect your factory to understand how to improve your production. And 3, find solutions based on those analysis results to reduce the impact of your issues and why not removing them. And we want to help you, for example, to find new partners, build new machines, or rework your existing processes. And of course, we want to finally repeat that scheme until you achieve your own goal. And so if you're interested, you can contact us for free. So you can go to the next slide. And thanks for listening to me.
Yes. Thank you, Olivier. And thank you to all the speakers. It was a difficult job to do, to present in a short presentation, short of time, your solution or your problematics. If you then, for the next steps, I'm inviting you to stay in touch, keep in touch with the pitchers if you have a solution or an idea to develop with them, because you will get the contact details by email on the presentations that you will receive soon. And you can also contact us, as Marielle said a little bit earlier, to validate, improve your project ID or have or answers to your questions. And please register on the Dream platform to prepare your application. You can do it in several steps, so you don't need to wait for the final ID to register. And last but not least, for the next meeting, we invite you also to Hannover Messe. We will be present on the booth of Wallonia with a presentation of Dream and some potential contacts with end users, exhibitors, and foreign delegations on the booth. There will be a specific presentation on the 18th of April and a networking with Belgian beers, of course, on the 17th of April. So you are more than welcome for these meetings and potential connections with potential partners. So thank you for listening to us and to all the speakers for the speech, and thank you to Marielle and the partners for the organization of this webinar. Marielle,
Actually,
I don't know if you want to conclude.
Yes, I will say just few things, because in the meantime we got a few questions in writing that I can reply right now because they could be of interest for everyone. So I will just read the questions and reply to them immediately. So the first question is if there are 3 partners with 2 SMEs, both can apply for the amount, or will it be a split? So actually, the 30,000 euros is for the project itself. So in case of 2 SMEs, the 30,000 euros has to be splitted among the 2 SMEs, among the partners of the consortium. So it's only the same amount, but that has to be splitted among more partners. So the next question is, hello, if I understand you correctly, please reiterate that this call should not be understood as a way for the big company to get a discount on a technology solution to purchase. So actually, you understand correctly. The goal is not to buy an existing solution on the shelves already existing, but it's really for the IT company to implement an innovative solution based on the use case of a given larger industrial company. So the notion of prototype and demonstration is really important, and it's not focusing on already existing products already delivered by the company. Then the next presentation, is there any preference regarding the industrial sector in this call? What about sectors that are already covered in the other Euroclusters? So indeed, the only preference that we have regarding industrial sectors is about manufacturing. So it should be about manufacturing without any specific limitation. It could be, of course, some other projects some other fields which are already addressed by other Euroclusters. However, here the emphasis on the digitalization aspect is really essential. So the scope is not only into the specific industrial sectors, but mainly and above all into the IT technologies which could be implemented into these application sectors, keeping in mind the greening aspect thanks to these IT technologies. And then next question, I was wondering if you will also provide a kind of matchmaking platform. Actually, well, the limited budget that we have doesn't allow us to build a matchmaking platform as such. However, if you are looking for dedicated partners, don't hesitate to let us know the type of partner search you have. Keep in mind that we are 4 clusters into the group, 2 of them in the IT domain and the 2 others in the domain of industrial sectors. So we are able to connect you with our members. Each of our cluster have at least 200 members, so we have the possibility to create this matchmaking by ourselves. So don't hesitate to contact us via the link which have been mentioned. And then the other questions, I think, were contacts about the others. Yes, can you send us the presentation, please? Yes, it will be emailed, as I said, either this afternoon or tomorrow at the latest. This call concerns different sectors. Could it be nuclear? That's what I understand. Actually, we are focusing on manufacturing. So really the sectors has to be really about the manufacturing processes. So nuclear as such is not exactly what we aim at, because we are not in the manufacturing of goods. We are more in the energy sectors, unless it is relevant to manufacturing some dedicated spare parts for nuclear. So it really depends on what you have in mind. So if you have any doubts, I invite you to contact us. And I think that's it with the list of questions. So thank you very much for your attention. I hope you have been able to get an interesting overview of what we are aiming at. Keep in mind this deadline of the 25th of March. Don't hesitate to meet our colleagues from Belgium if you would be at Hannover Messe. And on behalf of the DREAM Consortium, thank you very much, and we remain at your disposal in case of questions. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.
Thank you, bye.